Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mario J. This is Tough Love Podcast. Please come in, have a seat. We got to have a conversation. There's some things going on, and we got to talk about it. Come in, share, and let's get this thing started, all right? Let me go ahead and share real quick, get this thing out the way. They set the house on my dreams. They made a demon out of me. And they put a cross to my face. They put a shot for me. Cause I got some blood on my hands. But they would see me when I'm coming. I'll be laughing while you're running. Oh, you will see me when I'm coming. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get this thing started right now. It is a lot of crazy things going on. I'm really, I'm really disappointed in the information that I got, that I received. I thought it was a joke, but it's obviously not a joke. I'm going to let y'all hear what it is that I heard earlier today in regards to Breonna Taylor. I'm going to let y'all listen to some of this, and then I'm going to give my commentary on this real quick. So I want to give y'all some backstory before I get into my story. So y'all stay with me real quick. Let me go ahead and play this real quick for y'all.
On March 13th,
turn this up,
6 days ago, a tragedy beset our community with the death of 26-year-old Breonna Taylor. Her death has ignited a movement in Louisville and the nation for racial justice, sending thousands into our streets and cities all across the country and the world, all crying out for justice for Breonna. And while her death was a tragedy for so many, let's remember that Breonna was first a daughter, a sister, a granddaughter, a niece, a girlfriend, a friend, and a co-worker. And for those who knew her, Breonna's death is personal, the pain is visceral, and the loss ever more devastating. Tamika Palmer, Breonna's mom, says Breonna was a quick student, a hard worker, and an old soul, and she was the glue of the family. Breonna was loved. I cannot begin to imagine Ms. Palmer's pain, and I'm deeply, deeply sorry for Breonna's death. While we await a decision from Attorney General Daniel Cameron on whether or not charges will be filed in this case, my administration is not waiting to move ahead with needed reforms to prevent a tragedy like this from ever happening again. That's why I'm here today with the family of Breonna Taylor to announce that Louisville Metro government has settled the civil lawsuit with her estate. As part of this settlement, Louisville Metro government agrees to make several important policy changes. First, to build stronger community connections between our police officers and the people they serve.
I need y'all to share this. I need y'all to share this one.
Establish a housing credit program to incentivize officers to live in certain low-income census tracts within the city. And we will encourage officers to volunteer 2 paid hours every 2-week pay period during their regular work shift in an organization in the community that they serve. Next, as I've said before, we often ask our police officers to not only keep the peace, but to deal with challenges that society has failed to address, from mental health to homelessness to substance abuse and everything in between. That's not fair to our officers. That's not the right way to address these challenges. That's why we will create a program to include social workers at LMPD so they can provide support and assistance on certain police runs where their presence could be helpful. Metro Council has already initiated funds in this activity. And finally, we must have transparency and accountability for the work that our officers do. Good officers appreciate sunlight on their work, and we will take several steps to shine that light, including the following. We will now require a commanding officer to review and approve all search warrants, affidavits in support of search warrants, and risk matrices before an officer seeks judicial approval for the warrant.
It's important that y'all listen. It's important you listen right now.
Executing warrants at multiple locations. We're adding additional protocols for money seized as evidence, expanding the random drug testing of officers, and we will negotiate with the FOP in 2021 to expand on the records that can be maintained in an officer's personnel files. We have updated the process when a police officer is being investigated by our professional standards unit and leaves LMPD before the completion of that investigation. Going forward, the chief's closing letter will state his or her findings based on the evidence that exists in the file at the time of the officer's separation from LMPD, if sufficient evidence exists in the record to make such a determination.
2 more minutes of this and I'm going to give my commentary. I'm going to give y'all 2 more minutes of this.
To make a finding. If the nature of the complaint is significant enough to have reasonably resulted in the suspension of the officer, the investigation will continue gathering evidence to evaluate if additional officers were involved or other problems exist. And finally, in order to ensure monitoring of any officers who may need additional training or other support, we will implement an early warning system that tracks all use of force incidents, citizen complaints, investigations, and other key factors. As part of its ongoing top-to-bottom review of LMPD, Hillard Heinz will evaluate the early warning system and recommend any needed improvements. This system will also be monitored through the soon-to-be-formed Office of Inspector General. These are significant policy changes on top of many others that we've already made, including those that are part of Breonna's law, as well as changes to policies on use of force and if tear gas would ever need to be used. In addition to these policy changes, this settlement includes...
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to get right into this. I'm trying to be patient. I can't be patient no longer. I got to get right into this. How much is your child's life worth? How much is your child's life worth? That's what this conversation is about. Breonna Taylor's family has settled out of court for $12 million. The question is, how much is your child's life worth? Now, my thing about it is, I don't know how you feel, but there's going to be a fight on somebody's hand if you take my child's life. And I think that Breonna Taylor's, that fight in reference to bringing charges to those officers, making sure that we have justice, I think that we sold her out. I believe that Breonna Taylor's family sold her out because they couldn't wait to say, let's settle out of court. Let's get this money and run. Why? This is what I want the Candace Owens, I want the Brandon Tatums, I want all of those conservatives, I want them to come in and I want them to listen to this real quick. If your child dies, right, how much money could someone offer you for you to be quiet, for you not to say, let's take this shit to court? Because right now, I see this as a blow to every Black American, everybody that gives two damns about their children. You can pay me to be silent because I know it was some fuck shit that happened, but you can pay me to be quiet. Now, if you don't feel a certain type of way, if you just tuning in, this is Mario J. This is Tough Love, and we're talking about Breonna Taylor's family settling out of court for $12 million. My question is, could someone kill your little girl and give you $12 million to be quiet? I'm just curious. Could somebody give you $12 million and say your child was only worth $12 million? Well, my kids is priceless. So you're going to be paying a whole lot of goddamn money to a whole lot of people. So I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to have those conservatives spin this. I'm just trying to see this. How are we going to have those conservatives spin this to say, you know what? These black lazy people, these black lazy people have decided, you know what? They don't need to go to court and they don't need to have a judge or a jury say that these men was guilty. Obviously, the governor or the mayor sat up there and said, we're doing police reform, y'all. Y'all shouldn't be mad. Don't start looting. Don't start rioting. Don't start doing anything crazy because we have a whole list of things that we should have been fixed from George Floyd. We should have been fixed from Sandra Bland. We should have been fixed eons ago. But the fact of the matter is, you know what? We're going to read this out so that way you guys can feel comfortable. Where the hell is Black Lives Matter at right now? Where's Al Sharpton and all of those other guys that like to be in the front and like to talk to the people and say, you know what? Hey, this makes sense, y'all. Somebody said, well, the family got paid. Shut the hell up, Mario J. What are you talking about? I'm about to unsubscribe from your channel. Well, unsubscribe then. Get your ass moving. I'm saying right now, if something happens to your child, how much money is it going to take to silence you? Because here's the thing. If those police officers were in the right, if they were in the right, then have your day in court. Have enough patience, have enough tenacity, have enough fortitude to say, you murdered my daughter, and what's going to happen is we're going to have our day in court. 12 million, you must be joking. Is this a joke? Because I'm black, you feel like you can pay me off? Because I'm not from a well-established family like a Bush or a Trump or something like that. You can pay me off to silence me, to make me be quiet. Black people, this is a smack in the face. Wake up. America, this is a smack in the face. Wake up. Because you never had money like this. And when we start talking about millions of dollars, it make you feel good. But my whole thing about it is, how the hell does Breonna Taylor feel about that? How does she feel about that? You sold me out. You sold me out. You sold me out. Like, I can't even put a price tag. As y'all can see, I'm hype about this shit, right? I can't even put a price tag on my children's lives to be like, yeah, that's going to be enough. You can't replace her memory. You can't replace the moments that I would have had with my child. You can't replace the seconds. You can't replace the holidays. So you're going to give me some money, some hush money, so I can be quiet. Let's talk about justice, folks. Yeah, share this. You're right. Share it. You're right. Share it. We always talking about the court system and how messed up it is and all of this other stuff or whatever. But when we feel like we have the upper hand on justice, we feel like, you know what, the facts ain't lining up what they talking about. And you know what, y'all wrong. This is what her family was saying. They were wrong. Well, if you believe that they're wrong, then these motherfuckers running a race and not a marathon. Stretch out. Get you some water. It's time to run. We going the distance. This is not a race. This is a marathon. And we are going to see this thing through. At the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, man. You got to ask yourself, what statement and what message do we send to America as Black Americans when you kill an unarmed Black female? You kill them and you say, you know what? Go ahead. I'll take the money. It's cool. I ain't got to worry about court. It's cool. We ain't got to charge those officers. We good. So the next person that dies, what happened? Oh, well, let's just slide them $1 million and we call it a day. We living for the now. We living for the now. But in the memory of Breonna Taylor, let me ask you guys something or whatever case to be. If she dies under a false pretense, okay, the police messed up. Now we're talking about everything we're going to do to prevent the next tragedy. Okay. I tell you what, I want 12 million for everything that you say you have to adjust. How about that? Since it's not ridiculous, it's not asinine, it's not stupid, it's not dumb. It's logical to think that you can give me $12 million and I'm gonna forget about my child. It's logical to think that, you know what, even though I birthed her and brought her into this world, I taught her how to say her ABCs, how to read, how to walk. I taught her all these things. And you took her before her time. Since you think $12 million is what it's going to take to shut me up, I want $12 million for every goddamn thing you feel that is wrong with your police department. Let's talk about it. He ran off like 10 things. I want $12 million for everything. Now let's talk money. Come on. You want me to be quiet? I'm gonna be quiet. For every bullet that you put, I want $12 million, and I'm gonna be quiet. Since we obviously we're not paying for justice. Obviously, we're not paying for justice. Obviously, this is a situation where you got to look at it and say, somebody thinks that Breonna Taylor's family settling out of court, well, good for them. They made themselves a couple of dollars. They made themselves some bucks, but they can't replace their daughter. And we talk about police reform. We talk about police brutality. We got people saying this bullshit ass statistics. Well, it's more white people that's getting harmed than black people. Okay, cool. Stay with your statistics. But for me, any black person is one too many. So when we get an opportunity to say, you know what, we finally have a platform. We finally have a niche. We finally have something that we can use to say, nope. Stop blaming the victim. Stop saying Jacob Blake. Stop saying George Floyd. They was criminals. They was this. They was that. Okay, cool. What about Breonna Taylor? We finally get something where we can actually walk into a courtroom and say, you killed her and it was unnecessary. It was ridiculous. We outrage. You not no. Don't worry about settling out of court. Don't worry about it. Back up, player. Back up. We gonna do this, and we gonna do this in front of America. Since you did it in front of America, we gonna do it in front of America. Breonna Taylor family had to know that what this meant was bigger than $12 million. It was bigger than $12 million. And I think that if someone from Breonna Taylor family is listening now, I want you to understand. Let me calm down a little bit. Let me drink some water. Y'all say this. What you're not understanding is that for Black America, we get certain moments that we get wins. We get certain moments that we can prove to the rest of America that we stand for what it is that we talk about. Togetherness, integrity, loyalty, being trustworthy. We get certain moments where we can bond together and bind together. This was one of those moments. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I was in Breonna Taylor's life, if I was in her family, I would have said, we not settling. We not settling, because this means more to Black America than just our family. This is a win for Black America. You getting $12 million to me, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I think it's selfish. Because whatever money they made from the GoFundMe was enough money right now to suffice until the end of this trial. And obviously, they had everything that they needed to suffice to the end of this trial. Okay, when you got celebrities like LeBron James and other celebrities talking about this, the notoriety is there. Can you imagine people in an uproar? Can you imagine people pissed off? They said we're getting tired of all of this police brutality, and have people from America tell you, what police brutality are you talking about? You must be crazy. We're not going to celebrate George Floyd. Get out of here. Jacob Blake was a criminal. Huh? He beat up women. He did this, he did that. They said we could not be upset because these men had criminal records. These men were not upstanding citizens. They were not model human beings. They were not respectful providers. They said, no. Shh. Be quiet. I know what you saw, but it ain't what you saw. And when we get an opportunity to say, well, what about Breonna Taylor? When we get an opportunity to say, well, what about this? What about that? The family says, let's settle out of court. America, for those that believe that Black people do a lot of complaining and that Black people will not stand the test of time, will not band together, will not say, where's the people that like the WAP? Where I want to see all the people when we unite and we say, you know what, we love the WAP song. It empowers us. It encourages us. I'm talking about right now. Where is all the energy? Right? I want you to keep the same energy. I want you to be excitedly outraged. I want you to be speaking about, I don't want to hear what the hell you doing this weekend, what you about to buy. I don't care. This is a situation that when things like this happen, we fail as adults to talk about it. We fail to show the point to our younger generation. Yeah, we mad. And I'm going to tell you why you mad. Because see, here's the thing. This is what a dumbass person would do. Motherfucker, I just got $12 million. We balling. We balling. But not thinking of what message it's sending. $12 million versus a priceless message. You get it? Had they would have waited longer, they would have got more money over a big shit. They could have got $12 million a year. But the message would have been priceless. It would have been a win for Black America to show America as a whole that we are sick and tired of police brutality. We want police reform. We want to show America that when you kill a Black person, there are consequences. They're not only social media consequences, there are public consequences. There are social, economic consequences. We're not standing by and let people die in their homes while they're sleeping. This could be you. This could be your aunt. This could be your daughter. This could be your coworker. This could be a friend. This could be you. And can you imagine your punk ass family talking about, well, we'll take the 12 million. I think a lot of times Black people miss the mark on being great. I think a lot of times we miss the mark on having a tough conversation. So a lot of people enjoy, you know what I'm saying, those little trinkle moments of, oh, he just made the last shot in the game. You know, he oh my God, Kanye coming out with some new sneakers, or Beyonce got a new song, or wait till Cardi B gets some more WAP. And it feels good for that 4 minutes. It feels good for that split second, that one night. But I'm talking about a generational priceless message. That's what we don't get. And we always ask ourselves, where the fuck are all the leaders at? Where are all the Black leaders at? Somebody should have advised them, listen, pump your brakes. I know you ain't never had this much money before. I know you never considered yourself to ever be in a conversation of you being a millionaire. I get it, but pump your brakes. I know it feels good, but sit your punk ass down and listen. This is bigger than you. It's bigger than you. People are looking. People right now, what message are we sending the next generation of children? When somebody dies, a Black person dies, $12 million is what your family gonna get. Depending on who you is, depending on how much publicity you got. Well, let me burst some bubbles. Suppose America decides that your family ain't worth $12 million. Now y'all mad at me, right? Now y'all not gonna share. You're not gonna like this shit, right? Suppose somebody decides, you know what? We're not gonna offer you 12 million. We're gonna offer you 2 million. Hell, we're gonna offer you 200,000. Some of y'all might get 5K. You didn't fight before. Why would you fight now? You were so scared of the legal system. I'm just saying. Everybody wants to feel like, you know what, man? I'm doing the best I can for my children, right? I'm standing in harm's way. I'm teaching them what they need to do to be productive, to be great people. So what happens when their life cuts short? Whose opportunity now is it to be great? Because your child is already gone, so the opportunity now falls on you to make some sound decisions, to think about what this means. Somebody said, dude, are you crazy? Do you really think somebody's thinking? Listen, bro, listen. They seen $. Shut the hell up. You don't know what you're talking about. Candace Owens, where you at? I said, get over here, girl. Brandon Tatum, come on. They seen dollar signs. Start reading off all of these things that we're going to do to fix the police department. But already had proof that the police department was broken. Already had complaints that they knew for a fact that the police were targeting people that live in the city. But never wanted to fix it because black people wasn't speaking out. They wasn't speaking out. And the second they get an opportunity to have their voices heard, they settle out of court. Because somebody said, we're going to make you a millionaire if you be quiet. Somebody tell me I'm lying. Somebody tell me I'm lying. They don't share messages like this. They won't share. I'm telling you right now, your homeboy that you think is so cool, that's full of shit, he won't even say nothing about this. Your homegirl that's selling all of the fucking press-on nails and eyelashes, she ain't gonna say nothing about this shit. But I'm telling you right now, these are the conversations you got to have with your colleagues, with your family members, with your friends. The reason why is because this could be you. And I'm telling you right now that if something happened to my ass, don't settle out of court. Don't settle out of court, especially if the facts leading up to it says he was in the right and they was in the wrong. You should be getting $12 million a year. Is it absurd? How much do these basketball players make? Is it absurd? Why would you take a one-time settlement of, let me get 12 million, please? Thank you. Thank you. Hell no. You're gonna, you know what? What's the life expectancy of a black female? Somebody type that in real quick because I can't Google it. I can't Google it. Somebody help me out real quick. What's the life expectancy of a black female in America? Anybody? I need y'all to share this. Don't just listen to me. I need you to share it. Somebody Google this for me now. What's the life expectancy? Okay, somebody say, I appreciate that, Frank Lucas. Somebody said guessing is 45. 45. Well, tell you what. If my daughter died at 30 years old, guess what's gonna be happening? Huh? If you cut her short 15 years, then for every year you owe me 12 million. That's the way I'm doing my math. That's the way I'm doing my, you want statistics? That's some statistics for your ass. That's the way I'm doing my math. Ladies and gentlemen, you better talk to your family members because here's the thing, that night of turn up, when you think I'm about to ride out, and you get stopped by the police or shit, hey, let's just say you did have a good night and you made it back or whatever, but your car for some reason fits the description and they decide, you know what, we just gonna do this no knock warning, run up in your house real quick. Yeah, we probably got the wrong person, but shit, wait a minute, hold on, what are you doing over there? I ain't doing shit, I'm just waking my ass. Oh, he got a gun. I understand having a tough conversation is uncomfortable for a lot of people. I get it. But I also understand why it's so necessary. Because had this family been advised, this family, and remember, this is a state that's paying this family. So had this family been advised, $12 million would have been a cherry on top of a cake. And the cake would have been the message that, listen, it's going to be very expensive to kill another black man or another black person. It's going to be very expensive for your state, for your police to brutalize another person. It's going to be very expensive for you to run up in my fucking house and kill me and I'm unarmed while my children are there. It's going to be very expensive. It may not be a good business decision for you to make that move, player. When you stop me, it's going to be very expensive for you to goddamn have an attitude and goddamn take me and throw me on the ground and put your knee on my neck. It's going to be very expensive when I turn around and walk back to my car and you allow me to, and you decide as soon as he opened this door, I'm going to put 7 shots in his back. It's going to be very expensive. We got to speak up. We talk about everything else. We talk about black men hating black women hating black men, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna send this person money and support that bullshit. But we don't talk about how we working together to fix this shit. How we working together to fix this shit? Keep on thinking that America has so much love for the individual genders. America likes black women more than black men. America likes black men more than black. Keep on thinking that. Keep on thinking that. Keep on thinking that. Now, if the attitude is in America, you can be whatever you want to be. You can live where you want to be. You can shop where you want to shop. You can buy what you want to buy. I believe that there is opportunity in America that a lot of places you don't get. Yes, I do believe that. Yes, I do believe that. I believe that the education is there, the know-how is there, and you have access to certain foundations and formations that make you and align you with being successful if you want to. If you want to. But if you steadily make excuses, you'll never get there. This was not a smart business decision to take that money. It was not. It was not. To me, I feel like Breonna Taylor's family sold her out. And I believe because they saw dollar signs and no one, not Black Lives Matter, okay, not all lives matter, not Republican, not Democrat, not conservative. No one sat down and said, listen, this means more than just a settlement out of court. Don't go away quietly on this. Don't sign no gag orders and say, if you take this money, you can't say nothing else. If you take this money, you can't say nothing else. I'm just saying. Somebody said it just wasn't the money. It wasn't just the money. Like I said, I believe they took the money and they also signed a gag order. So now they can't say nothing else. Okay, they can't say, what they have to do is come out and say, well, hey, they apologize. That ain't gonna bring your daughter back. They said they're gonna fix all of these things. Well, here's the thing. Before it happened to your daughter, it happened to several other people within your state. It's happening to several other people within the United States. So here's the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you believe for 1 minute, 1 moment, I will debate any judge, any lawyer, any prosecutor right now. If you believe that something is happening in a city that is being televised, that is being projected on social media, and if I'm in New York, if you think California ain't looking at New York, if I'm in Kentucky and you think Kentucky ain't looking at Louisiana, if it has been publicly promoted and pushed, they are looking at the hiccups and the mishaps that are happening. So right away, guess what should be happening within that department? I'm talking to the governors and senators right now, to the congressmen, to the mayors. I'm talking to y'all right now. Listen to me. If I see that no-knock warrants are not working, if I see that police brutality is being amplified in certain urban areas or just with black people in general, there are certain things I need to do. You got some areas that don't even have body cams right now. How are you going to tell me with Jacob Blake, we ain't have no body cams? But didn't you just see what happened to George Floyd? But we let that shit go. We let it go. We let it go. People don't think that we're intelligent enough to look at a situation and examine what the hell is going on. As if we, as Black America, don't have psychologists, we don't have judges, we don't have lawyers, we don't have doctors, we don't have people in predominant situations that make judgment calls every day. Hell, mothers and fathers make hard calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm asking you to have the tough conversation. I'm asking you to share and like this and send it to someone else and ask them to send it to somebody else. Let's have the conversation. I know our timelines are filled with a lot of bullshit. Cardi B getting a divorce? Her wife wasn't strong enough to keep her man? He found somebody that could cook and clean? I like Cardi B, y'all. I like her. She cool, but I'm just saying. We got to have a tough conversation. We got to. We got to. And if that means somebody has to be the bad guy and say it out loud with a lot of people thinking, yeah, I believe her family sold her out. I believe no one in her immediate family, nobody in her immediate family has access to that amount of money. And when you start talking about zeros, zeros, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0, when you start looking at it like that, yeah, I'm willing to let this thing go for that amount of money. Yeah, I'm willing to let this thing go. Imagine how much the lawyer got. Imagine how much the lawyer got. Somebody says not true. If nothing else, it elaborates officers of false accusations. Okay, so check this out. I truly believe that the officers involved, okay, if found guilty, would have been an embarrassment to the police force, would have been embarrassment to the state, and would have helped add to the bullshit that's already happening that we know factually. Okay, everything from Jacob Blake to George Floyd and everywhere else. Okay, so here's the thing. If you believe that her family settled out of court thinking that the officers that killed their daughter is innocent, you are a goddamn fool. You're a fool. What got them to settle out of court, you see I'm looking straight at the goddamn camera, right? What got them to settle out the court was the fact that it's $12 million. $12 million. But even if they would have had an opportunity to say, listen, I'm going to come on social media right now. They want us to settle out of court for $12 million. What would y'all do? How do y'all feel about it? Because here's the thing. Breonna Taylor was our sister too. When you make that shit public, you share in the grief. You share in the triumph. You share in the loss. Do you not understand that? So a loss to that family is a loss to the black community, is a loss to black America. If we're going to send a statement collectively, then we need to stand on one accord and say, you can't pay us off. If you, then we're going to use your justice system and get justice and get the money. Play with me. Play with me. Don't tell me, oh yeah, it's more than just, no. It's the money. It's the money. Because they could have simply said, the title could have just read, Breonna Taylor's family settles out of court. It's a reason why they put 12 million on there. The question is your child worth more than that? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tough Love. I'm Mario J. Until next time, y'all make sure that y'all dot up. Peace. Make sure you share and leave me some feedback. I love to hear from y'all.